All right, let's dive in. We're about to see a revolution happen, but not in the way you might think. We're going inside the world's most advanced medical labs. This is a story about robots, our own DNA, and really, the future of medicine itself.
So you look at this, and yeah, it might seem like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? You've got this pristine lab, these sleek robotic arms moving around. But this isn't fiction. This is what modern genomic science looks like today. These machines, they're the new pioneers, working around the clock to unlock the secrets hidden inside our DNA.
But you gotta ask, why this whole robotic army? What's the problem that's gotten so huge that our brilliant human scientists just can't tackle it by themselves anymore? Well, the answer really comes down to the incredible scale of the challenge.
And that brings us to what's called the Genomics Data Challenge. See, our ability to read DNA has just exploded. It's completely outpaced our ability to make sense of it all. It's not like looking for a needle in a haystack anymore. It's like we have to catalog every single piece of straw in a million haystacks. We are, and this is no exaggeration, drowning in a sea of our own discoveries.
Just to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about, modern labs are churning out millions of genetic sequences. Not a year, not a month, every single week. The amount of information is it's staggering. And this isn't just a problem on a computer screen. We're talking about thousands of physical samples. Blood, tissue, cells. And every single one needs to be prepared and analyzed perfectly.
And all of that work, it creates a digital tsunami. A single research project can spit out terabytes of raw data. To put that into perspective, your laptop at home would probably just give up if you tried to open one of these files.
So you can see the problem. The old-school method of a scientist in a lab coat carefully working by hand, it just can't keep up. It's like trying to pan for gold with a teaspoon. It's incredibly slow, it's exhausting, and worse, one tiny human error can throw off an entire study. So, what do? Well, you build an assembly line, but not for cars or phones. This is an assembly line for our genes, and this automated workflow is the powerful, elegant answer to that genomics data crisis we were just talking about.
Okay, so this whole thing looks pretty complex, but you can really break it down into 4 key stages. We've got sample prep, library prep, sequencing, and then bioinformatics. Let's take a quick look at how robots have totally changed the game in each step.
It all starts, of course, with the sample. The second it gets to the lab, it gets a barcode and it's tracked. From there, robotic arms handle everything, dispensing these tiny, microscopic amounts of chemicals with a precision that's just superhuman. So every sample is prepped perfectly, and you never have to wonder where it is. Next, the robots get the DNA ready for sequencing by creating something called a library. Basically, they chop up the DNA into pieces they can work with and add these special little tags. Now, this is a super delicate process, and automation brings a level of consistency that humans just can't match. It means every single sample is treated in the exact same way. All right, once those DNA libraries are ready to go, robotic arms literally pick them up and load them right into the sequencing machines. And this is where the magic really happens, because it means the lab can run 24/7, just constantly generating this incredibly valuable stream of genetic data. And finally, after all that sequencing is done, we're right back to that digital tsunami. This is where automated software, a lot of times powered by AI, totally saves the day. It sifts through those terabytes of data, automatically spots the important mutations, and flags the key insights so the human scientists can focus their brain power on what it all means. So that's the process, but what's the real-world payoff? What happens when you actually hand over the reins to the robots? Well, the results they're nothing short of dramatic. Of course, automation brings a whole wave of benefits. You get better consistency, massive scalability, your samples are safer, and you save a ton of time. But let's move past the abstract stuff. Let's look at some hard numbers from a real-world case study. Now this is a total game changer. One lab reported a 65% drop in the amount of time their scientists had to spend on all those boring, repetitive tasks. Just think about what that really means. That's more time for creative thinking, for designing the next big experiment, and for actually pushing the boundaries of what we know. And the jump in scale is just wild. That same lab, they went from processing 200 samples a week to 600. That is a 300% increase in their research capacity, all without having to hire a bunch more people. And for me, this might be the most critical number of all. Contamination, which is this constant headache in manual labs, it basically dropped to 0. This means the results you get are reliable, And that reliability is the absolute foundation for every single scientific and medical breakthrough. Now, it would be really easy to think, okay, great, I'll just buy a few robots, plug them in, and I'm done. But the reality, well, it's a lot more complicated. True success here comes from creating this seamless system where your people, your data, and your machines are all working together in perfect harmony.
And look, getting there isn't always a walk in the park. There are some real obstacles. We're talking about high upfront costs, making sure your lab is even ready for this stuff, and getting all the different systems to actually talk to each other. And just as important, you have to bring your team along for the ride, with the right training and support for this big cultural shift.
The labs that really nail this, they're strategic. They don't try to automate everything all at once. They start by finding their biggest bottlenecks. They'll test things out with a small pilot project. And, crucially, they get their scientists involved from day one. It's a smart, step-by-step approach. So, what's next? Where does all this lead? Well, by solving these huge challenges today, automation is basically building the foundation for the medical miracles of tomorrow. We are right on the edge of a whole new frontier of discovery. You know, there's a quote from the source material that just nails it perfectly. Automation in genomics is more than a technical upgrade, it's a catalyst for discovery. It's not just about being faster or more efficient. It's about freeing up human brainpower and generating incredible amounts of high-quality data. It's speeding up the entire pace of science itself. Which leaves us with a pretty profound question to think about. We're creating these intelligent, tireless partners in our search for knowledge. As these machines get even smarter, and as our partnership with them gets deeper, what are we going to achieve? Will we finally find a cure for diseases like Alzheimer's or cancer? What other mysteries of our own bodies are we about to unlock?